You know, I'm listening to something I think is a very important issue, and I'm going to let you in on it. And I want you to chime in on it. Here, I think it's two guys, a black and white guy, debating issues down in Houston, Texas. One of them I know is Quanell X, and the other one I think his name is Mike something. I can't remember his name. But anyway, they're talking about Black Lives Matter organization. And you got two different perspectives right here, two different attitudes. But at the same time, while they passionately and objectively disagree with each other, they're trying to come to some form of agreement and stuff. But at the same time, there's a warning out. Now, it's amazing because the shooter that, y'all remember the shooter down in Dallas, Texas, that killed all those police officers. And I told you, here in America, black people are not lamenting, nor are they remorseful over police officers losing their lives when black people are dying on the street almost every single day in this country. At least once a month they are. And so what we have here is we have a very heated discussion and debate, which I think that we all ought to listen to. I think it's about 4 minutes long, but it speaks to the issue at hand. So let's try to go there for a second.
You know, many in this nation are asking, what should Black Lives Matter do? And in which direction should they go? The shooter in Dallas, Michael Johnson, is reported that he was angry with Black Lives Matter. And I understand why he probably felt that way. Because he was of a real radical extreme mindset. And he's wondering why they are not at the same mindset that he is.
Not giving this
and
guy,
really should not be.
You're not forgiving this guy, are you?
That's not what I'm doing. But also what I am doing, I understand the conditions in America that produced a mindset like that. Injustice on a consistent basis breeds insanity. And that's what's...
Now, and what the book says, the Bible, that most of you don't read out there, what it says, surely oppression will make a wise man mad. So it has a valid point that's coming up right here, you know, because if you reverse the roles, let's just say in this country, all right? Now, you're talking to a man that I can't stand racism either way. When I was young, as a teenager, I was dating some white girls, and next thing you know, on 2 different occasions, I had guns put to my face. Of course, my dad Dow, he came and settled one issue real quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it's just a reality here. And I'm speaking to you from experience, but what if the shoe was flipped on the other side, to where you had black cops in a concerted effort going out and just killing white people? What would happen in this country? I think this is going to come up in this one too, but let's just listen to this for a second.
In America with black people,
you know what's happening? You know what's happening, Quanell? There are black and white people that would like nothing more than for us to stay fighting because they somehow achieve a bit more money or a bit more prosperity or a level that they like. But they've got to make sure that white people and black people or any race are fighting each other and they're all jazzed up over something. Those people succeed. And that ain't me. And I certainly hope it isn't you either, Quanell, although I'm not so sure.
This nation, Matt, is at a crossroads. If we want to prevent another Michael Johnson, and I sit here with you for 6 years, and I warned you right from this seat that a Michael Johnson would be produced in America if injustice and police killings were not held accountable, these cops. And I'm warning you right now, brother. I'm telling you can take it or let it alone, and you don't have to listen, and this audience doesn't have to listen. But if they don't change, the next move, terrorist organizations from outside of America are going to try to connect with black people who are angry, disgruntled, and frustrated, and use them as an inside sale to strike America. That's what's coming.
His first stop was to an organization like yours, and, you know, the new Black Panthers. He thought maybe that would be the place to go. Can you imagine that in this guy's mind, he looked at you as someone who could use to go after people like me?
I put the brother out.
I know you did.
Because I had no choice but to do so for the safety and security of the other members because of the brother's rhetoric. But at the end of the day, I understand what has produced that kind of mindset in many young black men. Don't
That's
you dare think.
That's a dangerous thing for you to say, Quanell.
Don't you dare
man,
think
don't do
that Michael Johnson was the only one thinking like that in America. He is not. There are other black people in America across this country who think just like that,
let me
brother.
tell you.
And I'm not going to say just only him, Michael Johnson, that lone shooter down in Dallas that took out a lot of cops and then they blew him up in the office building. But equally, there are white supremacists and there are white racism or white races in this country that equally thinking the same thing. My personal opinion about all this is, I think that it's induced by the news media. I think it's propaganda by the news media to turn blacks against whites against black, so-called, if I can use those terms to be pure. And I just don't flat out agree with it. But I realize also, because I'm under no illusion whatsoever at all, that we in this country, we don't have too much intelligence. When you have people that's GMO modified, mercury induced through vaccinations, chemtrails flying all over the damn air, killing our crops and everything else, and they're tainting and poisoning us and killing us through the food system, and it's affecting the mind, how can you depend on anybody to be able to think rationally in this society? I don't have a lick of confidence in any Americans. I don't care what color they are.
Quanell, there's all different races and breeds of people that unfortunately are thinking that way because there's a fire lit under them by individuals that are smiling from ear to ear, hoping something like that does happen. I'll tell you who wants to see it is Hillary Clinton.
Man, ask yourself the question, if black cops were in white neighborhoods executing young white boys like they do black men, and they were never held accountable, what would you white people do?
Let me tell you something.
You would go to war. You would go to war.
44% more police officers just now in 2016 have been killed trying to do their job than all of last year.
But Matt, we have been fighting police brutality really publicly since the 50s.
You don't shoot him. You don't shoot him,
nothing has changed.
You don't shoot him.
I agree with that. And they should not be killed or targeted. But Matt, that 1% that they say is bad among them, that 99% better get off their ass and tell the truth and get rid of the 1% that's doing these things.
Well, you do the same thing.
Matt, we have been trying. Let me tell you something. If these racists on these police departments don't get off their ass and deal with the bad element, I'm telling you, there's going to be more Dallases in America.
Then you and I get together and we'll stand up and we'll help them get them off their ass. Let's do that.
I have no problem with that. But the chief and district attorneys got to be held accountable to hold everybody to the same standard when they commit a crime, cops and citizens.
Now, I actually agreed with that very vigorous debate, that very passionate debate, because while they were dealing with issues, both of them showed a level of intelligence, even though at points they objectively disagreed with each other passionately. Yet they didn't resort to the base mind content of trying to throw out lying personal attacks or just personal attacks in general. They stuck with the issues at hand. Because the truth is, there ain't a person in America can even point fingers at another. But, you know, this is the type of dialogue that we need to have. And this is the type of dialogue that I personally believe is going to take to be able to get us together. What saith you? Shalom.